So I play Mads, and how she fits into the plot is it's a movie about Mads and Junior, who are two kind of odd coupled friends that go on this road trip. And they both have chronic illnesses, which I and Mindy have in real life, type 1 diabetes and chronic complex regional pain syndrome type 2. But it doesn't define them. It's just part of their daily routine, and it doesn't limit them either. So they're still able to go on this road trip. But the reason it's called the in-between is because both women find themselves in these kind of transitional periods of their life. Mads is, coming to terms with a very tumultuous relationship with her mom, and Junior is mourning the loss of her sister. And, I think the road trip is the perfect place to sort of find yourself and find your way into that next chapter of your life, which these two girls do. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a big reason why Mindy and I and Rob wrote it and wanted to create this movie, was because we wanted representation. I know I've never seen CRPS on screen, and every time I've seen diabetes, it's always this like really over dramatized thing. I always think of like Julia Roberts in Steel Magnolias, where it's just like this huge scene and then she dies at the end. It's like, okay, it doesn't have to be like that. They don't have to be the victim. They don't have to be, it doesn't have to be this like limiting thing. But yeah, I mean, of course it influenced me being able to play Mads because, when I inject myself with insulin on screen, that's something I do all day. I mean, after this interview, I'm going to have to take some insulin with my lunch, because that's something that you can't really fathom until you actually go through it. Well, luckily, I mean, Mindy and I like got along right off the bat when we met each other. She had edited a movie that I did before called Santa Girl, which is how kind of all of us found each other. Rob Senska, our DP, producer, and co-writer, and then Blaine Weaver, our producer, kept trying to like hook us up on like a blind date, almost like a blind friend date, where they were like, you've got to meet each other. You guys are going to love each other. And we're like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you pitching the other person to us? And then we met and we hit it off right away. So that rapport you see in the movie is real, but that's just us talking. Some of it's improv, some of it's scripted. It's hard to know, even for us, which one was which after all this time. But yeah, we do have the bond of having chronic conditions, because again, that's something that you can't really understand until you live with it. So that's kind of an unspoken bond, but also too, we bond over like cocktails and drag queens. So honestly, it changes every time I watch the movie. Like there's just things that make me really happy. I love there's a scene in like the montage sequence where Mindy and I have these like crazy hats on, and we're like eating ice cream, and we're like walking out, and that part just makes me smile, because I think back to like that was an unplanned location. Like we were just driving through and found this spot and thought, oh, how fun, and saw the buffalo and all that kind of stuff. So it just like reminds me of the whole experience and just how fun it was to sort of let the experience influence the movie. Well, it's what we've seen audiences already take away from the film. It's been on the festival circuit since 2019, and I've had so many members of the T1D community, the CRPS community, and also just audience members in general, because I think everybody knows what it's like to be in a transitional period or an in-between period of their life, and to face challenges, and it's to be seen and to feel understood and to not feel invisible for what they're going through, and to feel capable. Those are the two biggest things I want people to take away from this, is to feel seen and capable no matter what they're going through.